This is literally how I explain Kingdom Hearts. Hold on, we gotta find the like a correct chart though. Like it's gotta move down rather than like. I don't know who the fuck made that. This is how people talk about it, but low key, it's like way more simple than that. Honestly, let's see. Let's see if I can zoom in. Let's zoom in, shall we? Damn, I can't zoom in. Can I move this shit? Okay, our Kingdom Hearts character clusterfuck. Okay, where should we start? Let's start. Let's start over here. Fucking kid Xanort. What a cutie. Okay. I like how they did this. They did the full heart as a somebody. Broken heart is a broken somebody. And then we have the heartless, right? The hollow. And then we have the nobodies, which is okay. So the difference between a somebody or broken somebody and a nobody, oh my god, it's like somebody, broken somebody, nobody, and dream person. Those are all of the same real person, but in a different form from a somebody. So they might not look alike or the same whatsoever. But the replica body and the data person and the heartless are, well, the heartless is a somebody, or it could be anybody. A heartless can be anybody that turns, just like how we lost Riku and he turned into a heartless, but then things changed, right? You said the old mobile games explained a lot too. There's a funny video that explains everything. So you said becomes the apprentice of Master Xanort. So Ventus is an important character. So we're over here between Xanort and Ventus. As we go down, this is how things start. So the beginning actually starts with Ventus, right? And as he's going down, you are dealing with the darkness and the light, okay? Now, things from this point on is about to be a little confusing. So our starting point is him, and if y'all remember, he is the apprentice of Xanort. And Xanort was basically bamboozled, right, into turning into something completely like not even human anymore, right? So then we have the situation of the Ansem and fake Ansem, but we're gonna get down to that in a second, because like it breaks up so fucking far that like it's a lot. So, and also too, within the game, it goes back further and then it comes back forward. So we're doing this throughout all of the Kingdom Hearts, right? Because in Kingdom Hearts 1, we start off with Sora, right? We start out with Sora, we start off with Kairi, and we start off with, where's he at? And Riku, right? That's our base storytelling situation. So Ventus is our actual start, and that's how we get to Sora. Sora is a real human person. He's a somebody, just as much as Ventus was, right? Yes, the new gen. Very super confusing. Stay with me now, okay? So Xehanort became Xehanort through he was a vessel, right? because he Vanitas from Ventus, right? Okay, so we're going back to the darkness and the light. You remember when they can get basically swallowed and succumb by the darkness? You said plus the data plots to Nomura was on some doing those as well. Bro, yes. Yes. It just it gets overly deep for almost no reason, but like it actually makes sense the more you kind of go backwards and forwards. So we're gonna be doing a lot of backwards and forwardness right now, okay? If you want to learn about Kingdom Hearts, the clusterfuck, like quite literally, this chart is called character clusterfuck right there. I know you see it. Okay, so you need to remember this chart right here. We have the somebodies, which starts off as a real person. Like, let's say if somebody is like me and you. The broken somebody is when they deal with damn, how do you even explain a broken somebody? Because that's basically kind of like that's like damn near almost no, not okay. A broken somebody is whenever the things had split, basically. So now we have the darkness and the light that the original Ventus went through, and then we got with Vanitas, right? And Vanitas became a vessel for Xanort. And if y'all remember, Xanort, this is him as a kid, and he was basically the uh, professor, as you can say. But remember that Ventus wanted to basically hold on, I'm reading and there's a fucking piece of hair on my mouth. Hold on, I need to yeah. Yeah, because this shit breaks down to fake Ansem. Because time travel Ansem is still a replica of Ansem the Wise. So he was trying to basically, not in the earlier days, but leading up to it, uh, oh shit. Okay, hold on. Let me go back over. Yeah, because then it kind of goes around. Okay. So, anyways, he was a vessel for Xanort. Xanort was up to no good whatso fucking ever, and that's why Xanort has all of these different forms. And he also time traveled, and he also was never necessary. Like he was never a broken person. He went from being an actual somebody to time traveling and then turning into a Terra, right? And the Terra is basically like that spiritual being, right? Like uh oh my god, this shit is so deep. Okay, so let's go back to Ventus slash Vanitas, right? So got a piece of heart, and that turned into Sora. So when we recognize Ventus low key as Roxas because obviously they literally have the same hair, vibe, eyes, and everything, but Sora is derived from that. Okay, so when we start off with Kingdom Hearts 1, we start with Sora, Riku, and Kairi. And sorry, because I was looking for where Riku was, but I might have to move around for a second. Okay, so Ventus sleeping, he is a broken somebody. And what do you say? It makes sense when you sit down and look at it, although you're crazy as hell explaining it. Yeah, so exactly, because it's like the heart is missing, yes, of the broken somebody. So starting off with this, these two make a whole, and this would be Vanitas and Ventus as one, and it curated Sora, but him in his sleeping state, he is broken, because he's missing that piece because Sora was made. So throughout the game, Sora is feeling like something is wrong, and he's getting these like memories, and he's just like living his life as if he didn't really know what was going on, like as if he is just a person that didn't derive from anything, even though he is a somebody, like a real actual person, right? He was made from a full version of Ventus, right? Because we started up here and now we're down here. So sleeping Ventus, he's broken and becomes whole again as just straight up Ventus, right? So this stops right here. He becomes back whole. So whenever all of these people are split up, they're basically like they might cross paths, but for them to join back together, it's like a whole situation. So we have Datasora, right? And that's his clone. So when we're playing in, what was it, 2.5, I believe, um, that's when we kind of get into the Tron Legacy world, and yeah, everybody there becomes like a data version, and you have to basically fight through. But that's his clone, and he doesn't go anywhere because it's just straight up Sora. It's still Sora. Now, let's go down. We got Zion, right? Sion, Zion, Sion. I say both. So, is a clone created of Sora's memory because she did become a vessel for Xehanort. That's later on though. Okay, but also breaks off into Roxas, which is a nobody. So that is a made up situation that whenever he got into the pod, he was created because Sora was supposed to go into this pod that Naminé put him in, right? So if y'all remember, Naminé is basically his inner conscience in a way, and Kairi is derived, or yeah, I would say Naminé is derived from Kairi because it's a part of his heart, and it says his body and soul because he loves Kairi and that's his best friend, and so is Riku, right? So a piece of Kairi was what made the quote quote nobody of Naminé, but this is basically the little chip off of Kairi. So she's not really remembered later on because she's literally in the conscience. Like she's not even like a real person at all. Also, to split up the Heartless of Sora because you remember that he had to remember who he was because he started forgetting who he was. So as he was basically incubating and going through and fighting through everything, you said the Hood edition is funny. That's funny as fuck. Yeah, we definitely gotta watch the Hood edition. And yeah, all of these come back together, and then we start off with Ansem the Wise, who is the real Ansem the Wise, then turns into Diz, and then turns into Data Ansem the Wise. So this is fake Ansem the Wise, but this is when we're in the Tron Legacy world, so it's kind of like, nah. It's just a lot of added characters because we see them change into these different forms, and we don't necessarily know where they come from until it's like explained or you kind of see it in the game. And then we have older Sora, which I'm pretty sure we're gonna see him like this version in Birth by Sleep, right? I believe. And then gets kicked by Yozora and becomes Crystal Stasis Sora, and then Nameless Star, and then totally not Noctis. Yeah, this whole situation right here we're gonna get to by Kingdom Hearts 3. This whole situation is really interesting because it's still somewhat in